According to some historians, it has been nearly 200 years since the first documented bike ride by Carl von Drais in 1817, and the city of Mannheim in Germany is planning a major exhibition to commemorate this second anniversary. The answer to the question of who invented the first bicycle often depends on who you ask, as many people have contributed ideas and developments over the years. Let's take a look at the evolution of the bicycle to see that the cycling craze is nothing new. Before we get started, make sure to like the video, subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon. 1493, the earliest bicycle sketch. According to legend, Leonardo da Vinci was the first person to visualize the concept of a bicycle but was unable to build it. A bicycle-like sketch, which had not been seen in 500 years, is said to have been discovered during the 10-year restoration period of the Codex Atlanticus in the 1970s. Since 1998, Hans Erhard Lessing, a professor of physics, has claimed that it is a fake story and that the bicycle originated in Germany in the 1800s. 1817 to 1819, the Draisine. In 1817, German Baron Carl von Drais designed and built a two-wheeled, wooden vehicle that could be straddled and propelled by walking quickly. Von Drais invented the Laufmaschine, or running machine, to meet the need for horseless transportation during an oat shortage. The Draisine, which was almost entirely made of wood, weighed 22 kilograms and had no pedals, but what it lacked in practicality it made up for in speed. The bicycle traveled 13 kilometers in less than an hour on its first trip. Unsurprisingly, the Baron obtained a patent the following year, 1818, inspiring manufacturers from other parts of Europe to create their own contraptions, called dandy horses. 1819, the hobby horse. Dennis Johnson made refinements to this model, and during the summer of 1819 the hobby horse became the craze and fashion in London society. Several parts were made of metal, which allowed the vehicle to be lighter than the continental version. 1860s, the bone shaker era, now with pedals. Many historians believe that Pierre and Ernest Micos invented the modern bicycle. This father and son team ran a carriage company in Paris, where they first assembled a two-wheeled velocipede around 1867. This tricycle-style bike was propelled by cranks and pedals connected to the front wheel. The design was quickly brought to the United States when a Micos employee named Pierre Lallement set out for America, claiming credit for the idea and claiming to have developed the prototype in 1863. Because of its rigid frame and iron-banded wheels, the velocipede earned the nickname "bone shaker" in England, resulting in a bone-shaking experience for riders. Mid-1870s, the high wheel era. Penny farthing, high wheel, high wheeler, and ordinary were all terms used to describe a type of bicycle popular after the bone shaker, with a large front wheel and a much smaller rear wheel. They were the very first machines to be referred to as bicycles. Despite its brief popularity, the penny farthing became a symbol of the late Victorian era. Cycling became the preserve of daring young men due to the dangerous nature of these bicycles, and its popularity coincided with the birth of cycling as a sport. The more stable tricycles were preferred by the risk-averse, such as elderly gentlemen and ladies. 1871, the first geared bike. In 1871 James Starley invented the Ariel, which was probably the first geared bike. 1888, the pneumatic tyre. John Boyd Dunlop was a Scottish veterinarian who lived in Belfast. His son complained that the cobblestone streets made his bottom hurt when he rode his bike to school. Dunlop solved his son's problem by inventing and patenting the inner tube and pneumatic tyre, which was essentially a hosepipe inside an outer rubber tyre with treads. However, the patent was overturned 2 years later due to a prior patent by Scottish inventor Robert William Thompson. 1890s, the safety bicycle. In the 1880s, the term safety bicycle was applied to any alternative to the penny farthing, which caused a bike boom due to being lighter, less expensive, and easier to ride. Unlike penny farthings, the rider's feet were in contact with the ground, making it easier to stop and reducing the risk of taking a header or a long fall over the handlebars. The bicycle had a huge impact on female emancipation and came to symbolize the new woman, which was central to the late 19th century rational dress movement. 1890s, the tandem. The two-wheeled, safety bicycle configuration known today as a tandem appears in the early 1890s. Many early tandems were courting bikes, designed for a man and woman, with the lady in the front seat and the man behind steering the bike via a linkage from the back seat. Tandem popularity declined after World War II until a revival began in the late 1960s. Mass production. The 1890s are often referred to as the golden age of bicycles, and it was during this decade that some of today's well-known bicycle manufacturers were founded. Both Raleigh and Schwinn were founded, increasing bicycle availability. 1900s, bicycle racing takes off. Bicycle racing grew in popularity in direct proportion to its rise in general popularity, so it was only natural that it was included as one of the events in the first modern Olympic Games in 1896. The first Tour de France took place in 1903 as a promotional event for the French newspaper l'Auto. 60 cyclists started the first tour, but only 21 finished. On this style La Française, Maurice Guérin, aka the Little Chimney Sweep, won the day. His bulky frame was adorned with brand new toe clips, which had only been invented a few years before. 1930s, taking it up a gear. The derailleur was invented in France in the early 20th century, but it was first used in the Tour de France in 1937. Previously, riders were forced to use a two-speed bicycle and would have to dismount to change gears. Derailleurs were not widely used in road racing until 1938, when Simplex introduced a cable-shifted derailleur. 1980s, the mountain bike. In the mid-1970s, there was a bike boom in America as a response to rising gasoline prices, which made automobile use prohibitively expensive, followed by a period in which sport bicycles were the focal point of design. Cyclists began to transition from road-only bicycles to all-terrain models in the 1980s. Mountain bikes and BMX bikes became popular, thanks to the introduction of multiple gears and much lighter construction frames. 21st century, bikes for all. While the basic frame design has remained unchanged for over a century, the use of space-age materials such as titanium and carbon fiber has resulted in bikes that are far lighter and stronger than the creators of the early iron and wooden models could have imagined. Bike styles have evolved as well, allowing for the incorporation of design elements that specifically enhance one style of riding over others. Because of this specialization, you can go into any bike shop and choose from mountain bikes, road bikes, hybrids, cruisers, and more, depending on where and how you intend to ride. Bicycle culture, the new cycling revolution. Increasing numbers of us are getting out of our cars as bicycle culture is taking hold, with more of us conscious of reducing our carbon footprints and keeping fit. Most of us grew up riding bicycles for fun, but it is only relatively recently that they are becoming our most popular form of transport. U.S. Census data suggested a 60% increase in bicycle commuting between 2000 and 2012. Middle-aged men in Lycra MAMILs have also rapidly become a cultural phenomenon, kitted out in garish sponsor-laden kits of professional teams, pedaling away on 4,000-pound bicycles. This was the evolution of the bicycle. We hope you like the video. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more videos about the evolution of things. Thank you for watching.